So we think it's really important to bring you guys into the ins and outs of our business and show you how we decide on whether or not we buy properties or we decide to pass on a property. Today, we put in contract a big one, a $1.4 million purchase in a wonderful neighborhood here in town. But first means first, we gotta walk it to see if we even like it.
That's right.
So let's go check it out. So now that we're out of the property, we're gonna go take a look at some of the items that determine whether we truly like the property or not.
Take a walk through the property with us and let's go see what it has to offer.
Let's check it out.
Before we even go in, I'm liking what I'm seeing because we have a 3-car garage.
One of the biggest items on a checklist when buying a flip that's at least $1 million plus for us is a 3+ car garage. We don't really like buying homes with only 2-car garages at this price point.
Yeah. And even though they're separate, I think it's totally fine.
Yeah. That's actually a big garage right here.
You have a double. Yeah, it could be. It could be really far deep. We never know.
Also, street appeal. It sits on a cul-de-sac, which we love. People love cul-de-sac. Cul-de-sac actually brings a little bit more value when purchasing a home.
Right.
And then overall condition and street appeal, landscape doesn't need very much in front.
It's actually in pretty great shape.
I like it.
Exterior wise. So
let's check inside.
Yeah.
What is this?
It's a nice
We'll have to check this out. Looks like a casita over the garage. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. This is actually a 1-story house. So this may be like an option when they built it.
It is a 1-story.
Kind of just a plus, a bonus.
It could be like a mother-in-law's quarters or the teenage child's quarters that you want to put upstairs and away from
the
everyone
problem
else.
kid.
Yeah, the problem child. That's really cool. Let's check that out.
Moving through, I like the courtyard a lot. So just like we talked about before, the moment you walk in this house, we're going to have to address this closed off space.
Right, if you guys can see this right here, this is a lot of walls and a lot of columns. We got to figure out how to open this up.
It's got to be super grand. So like whether we take down this, actually this is like this bar doesn't even need to be here.
No.
So if we got rid of this, that would help. But we're gonna have to kind of maybe figure out what's load bearing and what's not.
Some of these columns are definitely going to be load bearing, which is okay. We could always put a beam in to support the trusses.
Taller.
And a beam, it's a really thick piece of, multiple pieces of wood glued together that would support the trusses so we could take these columns out. Pretty expensive thing to do, but obviously to open this space up,
it's gonna have to be done.
It's 100% necessary.
Right. So this bar will probably have to go. What's behind this wall is the powder bath that will probably have to move.
Right.
And so now that this is wide open and supported, you're gonna be able to see what we want you to see. Where do we put the powder bath?
Man, to be able to trench that and put that somewhere else is not an easy job.
The farther you go, the harder it is, the more expensive it is. So it's gonna have to be kind of close.
Yeah. One thing I noticed when walking into this house is there's a weird area kind of right here, on the entryway that I'm not sure what this is. And then there's a dining room right there.
Yeah.
What if we made this area here the formal dining space?
Okay.
Take these pony walls down.
Maybe take some of these down.
Take some of these columns down.
Yeah.
Make this a really cool front formal dining area. Because remember, this is gone.
Right.
This is open.
It's all wide open.
And take this dining room and put the half bath in here.
Okay. So we may be able to even kill 2 birds with 1 stone by kind of cannibalizing this room.
Yeah.
If we take the powder bath and we move it maybe into the corner or the side here.
Right, so let's say this column here is a powder bath now.
Now this room is obviously too small, what's left, so maybe we can just blow the kitchen back and make the kitchen even bigger and give that space to the kitchen space.
Take this window out.
Probably gonna have to lose the window, but.
So I like that. So our kitchen would become massive.
Kitchen would gain maybe 6-7 feet.
Yeah, and remember, the 2 most important places in a home or selling factors of a home, the kitchen and the master bedroom and bathroom. So if we could open this kitchen up and make this kitchen bigger, more cabinetry, more custom,
bigger's better.
The better the house, right? The more sellable, the more value that is added to the home. All
right.
So let's check out the kitchen now.
Cool.
Okay, so this is the area right here that we're talking about removing.
Right, well, scooting back, basically.
Scooting back.
This entire
wall.
wall.
Yeah.
It would gain another maybe 6 feet, and it might even open us up to do 2 islands.
I really love the 2 island thing.
Or we could do a massive center island, keep the peninsula. The peninsula is great, and this becomes, because this is super skinny, this is silly.
I don't like it at all.
No, so this becomes maybe 6 feet wide.
I love that. So this is a wall of cabinets.
Right?
Now, that's gone. Kitchen becomes huge. You could see it from the front door as soon as you walk in. We take this, bring it all the way over, waterfall down, breakfast bar,
right?
And then this becomes like a 10-foot by 5-foot,
big,
another waterfall island.
Maybe with seating on it too, maybe a second sink on it too.
Wow, that would be a really custom.
It's a luxury kitchen.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. I like that idea.
White cabinets. What's the style that we want to go in here?
Well, there's so much cabinetry, so it's okay, I think, to break it up. I think that's kind of a cool look. It's a cool style. Usually breaking it up by doing an offset island or doing lowers versus uppers.
You know what I love lately? White cabinets, black island with like a really nice white marble countertop on it.
So like an accent island.
Really nice accent.
We could do that here.
That'd be cool, huh?
Sure. I like the pendants too, keeping those like kind of along this wall.
Yeah.
And then so now we have a magnificent big kitchen that kind of opens us up right into the living area.
Kitchen's huge. We're gonna make this super custom here. Got this big entertainment space, this gorgeous yard, but there's no way out.
It is missing something. I'll be honest. It is missing a little bit of something. You can see such like a great backyard through the windows. You can't really get to it.
Right. I think I have a really good idea. Let's take this wall, take these windows out, and put in a huge slider on this wall.
Okay. Use the window space to use the slider.
Right. 12-foot tall, 15-foot wide slider opening from here all the way down.
Sounds expensive.
Dude, imagine this.
I know, it'd be epic.
I know.
It's not a crazy number for this. Probably costs us $15,000 somewhat to do that. And if we can fit that in our budget, I definitely think we should do it.
Always trying to go over budget. I'm always trying to think of these big ideas.
We love it.
You got to remember, stay within your budget. Our budget on this house is $200,000. If we put a $15,000 slider in here, can we even get the rest of the house done? I don't know. You know, we'll see.
We'll see. Let's finish the house.
It's crazy.
So I love that this is our new dining room.
Yeah, that's gonna be great. You walk in, formal dining space.
Super cool.
What is this?
It looks like it's just an office kind of use room. It could be a bedroom.
This is nice. So we have...
Oh, you know what this is? It's set up as a home theater, but they have a window. So we need to get rid of the window.
That's an expensive projector.
Yeah, so we'll make this like a home theater.
Okay.
It's a little small, but we could probably work it.
It's got surround sound.
Yeah.
It's got a projector that who knows what that thing costs.
So sometimes we might walk into a room like this and be like, okay, let's make it a bedroom. But
wow,
once we kind of see what the house already has installed, maybe you just roll with it.
Yeah, I mean, this house already has 4 bedrooms, a casino over the garage.
Another bedroom.
Another bedroom here.
This looks like a Jack and Jill situation here. So
yeah, so come on in this way.
Cool. Pretty easy.
Yeah, with the secondary bedrooms, we typically don't go too above and beyond. Once again, I want to bring everyone back to the spaces that make the most importance. The kitchen, the master bedroom, bathroom, and just the overall main living space in general. You don't have to put a lot of time and effort into the secondary beds and baths, but you definitely want to upgrade them.
We're going to do everything that should be done. New flooring, base paint, new vanities, new shower.
Fans.
Everything's going to be new, but it doesn't have to be like groundbreaking here in the secondary bedrooms.
Right. Just a nice clean design.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be over the top. We'll show you guys later on when we're doing material selections what kind of tiles we put in the secondary showers and what kind of bathroom supplies we put in. Yeah, another bedroom. So we got 1 bedroom here, 1 bedroom there. That's 2. We got the primary.
Right.
Where's the 4th?
The fourth would be, you have 1 here, 2 here, studio room.
Right.
Which doesn't really, I guess, count as 1.
And then we got the one above the garage.
There's one above the garage. And then there's a whole bed and bath on the other side of the house.
That's the primary.
By the master.
Oh,
there's another one.
Oh, let's go check that out. Okay, one of the most important rooms, if not the most important area of the home, the master bedroom. We like to put a lot of time and effort into designing the master.
Obviously, because if you're spending $2 million, your bedroom better be badass.
Oh yeah, if I'm living here, I want to live like a king.
So it kind of looks like the bed goes here. You have 2 nightstand outlets, 2 switches to control them. So I'm guessing this is kind of my setup here, my bed, and I'm looking at
Man, this room's huge.
where my TV would be, where my feature wall would be, where my fireplace would be.
So we got to do our signature floor to ceiling fireplace in the master.
Hang a TV.
Make this really cool. Hang a TV on it.
Yeah, you got the cable, everything on this wall.
We could put an 80-inch LED fireplace in here.
Tile it.
Tile it or shiplap it. I like the tile more. It's a little bit more upgraded for this price point.
Sure.
Put a TV above it.
Yeah.
And maybe even like trim out the sides of it or something, the side walls.
That
or
could be cool.
Trim out this wall.
Or the bed wall.
Yeah.
So you walk in, you look like, wow.
That's done.
Yeah.
This is huge all the way up.
And you have access outside, so that's already there. We don't really need to address.
I love this.
Change
Let's check
that at
out
all.
this is a big room. Let's check out the bathroom.
It's got surround sound too. Do you think it's okay the way the master bedroom kind of just is open to the bathroom, or should we like close this off at all?
I think it's okay, but maybe we put a big barn door or
It
something.
could be something cool there.
A
Just
barn door would be pretty custom.
some ideas.
So this is a little weird. This is a little odd, this setup here.
We're gonna have to reconfigure this. And this is the biggest thing. When you walk in, you wanna have a magnificent shower.
Yeah, let's take a look. So you walk in, you got a big toilet room on this side, small vanity on this side, a single tub over here,
Taking up so much space,
and then you got a random shower over here.
which is really small. You never wanna have a small shower in a big luxury house. And truthfully, what we've been doing a lot is taking out tubs. As long as there's a tub in the house, that's really what you want to make sure of, but it doesn't have to have a tub in every bathroom, especially not the master bathroom.
So what can we do here? I think something that would be really cool, we take this out.
This has got to go.
The shower is no longer there. Tub comes out. This becomes a big walk-in shower.
Big corner shower, yeah.
Floor to ceiling glass.
You know what we could do with this is if we close this off, this is her closet.
Right.
We could open up this wall in here, and so now her closet just becomes that much bigger.
That's a really good idea.
She's gonna like it.
That's an easy idea too.
Super easy. Now we don't have to move any of this, we just frame it,
Yeah.
and now it's a bigger, better.
Almost doubles the her side closet,
Yeah.
which of course, all the ladies out there know how important that is, so.
And I like this here. I like this, maybe like a corner glass.
Right, big glass.
You have the window, maybe we can actually like either like do something to the window so it's not super exposed.
Tint it or something.
Tint it, or we've done even reconfiguring the window to like put some modern linear glass in there.
Opaque glass, something that you can't see through.
Right.
This would be a way better shower. We could even do 1 or 2 rain heads in this shower as well.
You know what, actually we do a lot. See how weird this looks? Like they built it for no reason really.
Yeah.
We could take that out, right?
I think you could go all the way up to the ceiling.
It's probably just framing, just a soffit.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Vanity setup wise, keeping that length and keeping this length so we don't cut back any vanity.
Right, I think her side and then his side are super important. I don't know about you guys, but I like my own space in the bathroom, and I know she does too.
She doesn't like to share.
I know. my wife is like, has shit all over the counters.
And my wife.
My wife.
Okay, cool. That's a great bathroom design.
Really
It's a
good
great
design.
bedroom design.
This house is going to be super cool. So when flipping homes, we want to always look for value add to the property. When we walk into this house, one of the main issues that we had here was a small entryway, pretty cut off, and then it just abruptly ends with exterior door.
It's actually super, super weird. So I got an idea.
Okay.
What we could do is actually take the space that's behind me right now,
Okay.
which is exterior space,
Okay.
but there's a perfect corner right there to actually bring it and make
guy's
it
crazy.
livable square footage. So
you're-
right where you are, there would no longer be a door there. That corner could meet up with this corner, And now this becomes livable square footage inside the house.
So you're telling me that within budget, you want to blow out this entire interior, exterior, original wall, bring that all the way out to here, and put a whole new slider right here?
I know, it's a great idea, right?
I like it, and I'll tell you why I like it. Because if we're adding, this got to be 250 to 300 square feet to this property.
And properties sell for about 300 a foot.
Do you know how much value add that brings to this house?
Probably between 75 and an extra $100,000 just by adding this.
Are you a genius?
I've been called that once before.
Dude, that would be a really cool idea.
Now we can think about, okay, yeah, maybe we do add a little more to the rehab, but that means we're adding more to the sales price too. It's kind of a give and take.
Right, well this is not going to cost $100,000 to do.
No.
If this costs us $15,000 or $20,000 to do, we gain a $60,000 to $75,000 increase in value.
Right.
It's money made. I love it. Now we're outside.
I love the outside.
Let's talk about outside.
I don't even know what we could do here. Somebody that owned this house before spent at least $200,000, $300,000 on this backyard.
Come check this out. It's like we're at a resort in Hawaii. Dude, I don't know what else we could do to this yard. This yard is perfect as is.
It's got it all.
There's almost no money that has to go into this yard, which saves us a ton on our budget and allows us to do some of the crazy ideas we have inside.
It fits right into the whole family home thing that we're trying to build here with so many bedrooms, so much open space, and a kick-ass backyard, pool, slide, palapas. We got tiki torches.
We got a half-court basketball court. We got a putting green. We got a hill where you can put fire pits and picnic tables and whatever you want to do.
Really the only thing that I think we need to do here is make sure everything's functioning, make sure everything's working, and it's all in good order, and we call it a day.
I don't think there's much to do here but to party and have fun. I mean, look at this. We got a slide for the pool. I love this house.
So after taking our time and really walking through this house, I think we have a good idea of what we're gonna do and how we're gonna design this thing.
Yeah, let's head back to the office. Let's pick out what kind of style we're gonna do here. Let's pick out our materials and let's decide what we're gonna use for this project.
All right, let's do it.
All right, let's go.
So we just finished our walk on the big property today, and I gotta say, it's pretty cool. It's a really awesome house.
There's a lot of good things about it, a couple bad things about it. Well, what's the most important is the numbers and analyzing the numbers.
So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna show you guys how we look at the property, the ins and outs of the numbers, what makes a deal good, what makes a deal bad, and what's our threshold for even buying something and making profit.
Right, we're gonna let them take a secret look inside of our property analyzing spreadsheet, which has held true over 245 deals.
And just like out at the house, we're gonna talk about the pros and the cons of the actual characteristics too, what the house has to offer or what it's lacking.
Yep, and then finally, we weigh those out, we look at the numbers, and we make our decision. Do we buy it or do we pass on it?
So let's start comping this thing out.
Yeah, let's start from the basics. So when we're comping a property, you gotta look neighborhood first, subdivision first.
Right.
So this particular subdivision is called Anthem Country Club here in Las Vegas. It's a beautiful country club. Love this neighborhood. It's actually one that I grew up really close to, so I know it well.
We know it well. It's guard gated. It's got an awesome country club. It's got an awesome golf course. But more importantly, this one sits in a really nice area in the neighborhood. It's on an awesome cul-de-sac, kind of up away from everything.
Yeah, kind of on that desert ridge, big gap, only one neighbor on one side of the house. I really like that.
Yeah. So situation as far as the neighborhood goes and the placement, I think it checks that box.
Yeah.
So that one's pretty good. I'll go
I
ahead.
haven't looked at the numbers yet on it, so let's see if there's any sales that actually support the ARV or the after repair value that we would be shooting for on this deal.
Right. So this house is a 4,500 square foot house. So right now I have pulled up anything over 4,000 square feet. So we can just look at those. 4,000 to 5,000 actually. So there actually is a sale right on the same street on 20 Pine Hollow. And that sold for $185.
Doesn't get much better than that.
That's really good. It's only a couple houses down.
A little bit smaller. So this is a 4,200 square foot house. Ours is 4,500 and change. So it's a 300 square foot difference.
Lots are pretty similar.
Lots are similar, which is good. Let's take a look at the photos of it.
So this one, nice front curb appeal.
Okay.
decently upgraded, it
Wow.
looks like.
Really nice.
New floors, new paint, new base. Those seem like they're upgraded finishes.
So when we're looking through the photos of the house, we are looking to see if it's comparable as to what our end product is going to look like. As you can see on this property, they have new upgraded floors. They have beautiful fixtures. It looks like they have custom fireplaces, and the kitchen looks custom as well. So it's a very comparable house to what our end product would look like.
Which is great. So we're seeing that this house probably sold near or close to top market value.
Yep.
And we can base this sale against ours and see kind of where we might land, because we have to adjust for a few differences with the size, of course. I want to make sure we go through this whole house to make sure. Sometimes you'll see homes that are what we call owner-occupant upgraded, where they did do a lot of renovations, but they missed a lot of areas as well. And
Yep.
exactly, that's what I just thought.
Good. That's a good explanation right there.
So the master bathroom here looks actually untouched. This looks more or less original, besides the floors,
Yeah.
which they probably did throughout. More or less original bathroom. So that's the one area they missed.
Cabinets weren't redone, the counters weren't redone, and the tub is absolutely original tub to the age of the home.
Which they're only showing us one picture here of that because of
That's why.
because of that fact, right? So given that the rest of the home is pretty nice, I would still call this very upgraded and use it as our comp.
And the backyard looks very similar as well. Lot's not quite as large as our lot, so we can take that into account as well. We did have that half-court basketball court and putting green scenario, which this one does not have.
True.
But it is a very large, comparable yard, which is awesome.
Cool. So if we look at this house now and the numbers on it, let's make an adjustment to figure out what ours could be worth.
And the easy and simple way to do that is to take this property's sales price per square foot, which as you can see here is $432 a square foot, multiply that by our square footage, and that number is pretty much what an appraiser would use to value our property.
So we're 4544 times 432. That gives us $1.9 million.
1.963 million.
So basically almost 2 million.
Right. In a market where, this property sold back in February, the appreciation is continuing to rise, the market's continuing to stay hot with a lot of demand. I'd say we could list this thing at 1.999 and probably get really close to that.
I'd say so, and don't forget the fact that that wasn't all the way upgraded either. They forgot to do the master bath. So ours will be top to bottom, A to Z upgraded.
Right, with a larger lot.
With a larger lot, so I think we can ask for that little bit of a premium.
Also, I noticed there's no spa. A spa could be a $5,000 appraisal value as well. One thing I also want to talk about here that's very significant, especially in today's market, look how quick that house sold.
6 days.
That's big.
That's really big, especially on the luxury side of things, where you normally think that the trend would be luxury takes longer.
Yeah, if we could sell this home in 6 days on market, that is a huge advantage. That shows us that there's still a little bit more room in their deal too, because it sold so quickly, demand must have been through the roof.
True. So before we take our numbers now and apply them to our spreadsheet and figure out if this deal's profitable enough for us, does the house check enough boxes on its own? Just the characteristics of the house. So as we were walking it, we looked at a lot of great things, but a couple negatives too.
Right, let's just go down the list and decide what we like and didn't like about it. First was community and neighborhood.
Check the box.
It's a guard-gated country club community, wonderful golf course, one of the most social clubs in town. That's a definite yes in neighborhood-wise.
Absolutely. And placement in the neighborhood, cul-de-sac, back up against the desert area, checks all the boxes.
Right.
So that one's good.
When it comes to the property, all of our luxury flips, we like to have 3+ car garages. This is a single story 3+ car garage. That's a definite positive.
Checks the box. The next would be the pool, the backyard, something appealing besides the actual house itself. And when we walked in the backyard of this house,
It's like a resort.
Awesome.
I loved it.
Somebody spent a lot of money, or the previous owner did, in upgrading that and installing all that stuff, and they took their time. They did a great job.
It's a total family house, and it's a family community, which is what I love. It's a 5-bedroom, 6-bathroom house, lots of room for kids. The backyard was like a resort. It has a half-court basketball court. It's got a putting green. It has a slide on the pool.
It's got palapas. It's got tiki torches. It's got everything you could possibly want in like a total retreat backyard. So as far as that goes, definitely checks the box.
But what about the negative side? We had 4 to 6 mansions. We're talking 8 to 10,000 square foot houses that looked directly into the backyard.
Right. They were separated a little bit, but they were up high enough to see everything you're doing in the yard.
At the $2 million price point, spending $2 million on a house, is that a big deal to someone?
We should definitely not overlook that, so that's going to be one of the negatives on this house. Now, keeping going throughout the house, I think the master and the kitchen, which are, we again told you guys, are the two most important factors inside the house.
But it's going to take a lot of design work. Remember,
A lot of design.
The next negative of that house was how many walls there were.
It's choppy.
It's choppy. It's small. When you walk through that front door, it's a really closed-in, small area with low ceilings.
Right.
Now the ceilings we can't do anything about. Ceilings are ceilings. They're there. We're not moving them. But some of those walls, if they're not load-bearing, we could take them down. But the odds are very slim that there's no load-bearing walls there.
Probably some sort of load-bearing wall in there, and that means we're going to have to put a beam in, and that we'll have to handle during design, if we decide to even buy this house.
Right.
But definitely want to mark it as one of the negatives.
So going down our list, we have a lot of positives. How many positives versus negatives do we have?
So the neighborhood's great. The house itself, 1 story with the 3-car garage, also great.
Yeah.
The pool and spa and backyard, also great.
Yeah.
The master and the kitchen, although they were dated and need a lot of design work, are huge.
We could do a lot of custom stuff there.
So I think those are a positive as well. So we have 4 to 5 positives on the house, but we do have the views of the backyard neighbors as a negative, and we do have the choppiness of the layout as a negative.
I think the pros outweigh the cons. The cons are big though. At $2 million, I'm very concerned about those neighbors looking into that house.
I am too, but you got to think now, a lot of our buyers are coming from California, and how common is it to live super close to your neighbors, almost on top of your neighbors in California? That may not be a big pushback from that kind of a buyer.
You're right. I think this one's going to really come down to the numbers. I think we need to look at our spreadsheet, show you how we calculate a deal based off of what we anticipate would be a 1.999 resale, and see what that profit's going to look like, because that's the tall tale sign. We like the house. There's some big negatives on it. Does it make enough money to overlook those negatives?
Right. I think we can overlook the fact that it's choppy, because we can handle that during design.
Yeah.
So if we open up our spreadsheet here, I have everything plugged in to go over the numbers of the actual deal to see what we might make as profit. So we're in contract right now for 1,425 with a little bit of cost and a credit because of the relationship we have with our buyer's agent, who represents us on all our purchases. We get some credit back, so our all-in price is 1,413. So $1,413,000.
Yes.
Now we did estimate based off of all of our experience and the things we want to do and our acquisition guys' budget to even go ahead and offer on this property that we think we could spend about $200,000.
It's going to come close. It's going to be very tight, especially opening up those walls. I'm concerned about that number, but I think it's enough to get this job done.
And we can always kind of play with that number and inflate it and see if we want to put a little bit of a cushion on it just in case.
Yeah.
So we have some other hard costs, things like photography, things like staging, things like insurance. We always do those things and we plug them right in here so that we don't overlook any of our costs.
Yep.
That's a really big tip that a lot of early or beginner flippers might do, is they're not thinking about all the other things, not just the purchase and the rehab.
Right. Yeah, most investors or most HGTV shows talk about purchase price, rehab cost, commissions, sale price, net profit. They leave out all the insurances, office expenses, utilities, HOA dues. These costs can eat you alive and they can make or break a deal. So make sure that you have those in your spreadsheet. And if you want, take a look at our spreadsheet and copy this one.
Yeah. So moving down the line, we even plug in appliances because on a luxury house like this, they're going to be so much nicer. They need their own light item to account for them.
Absolutely.
So then we have our holding costs, which is basically the interest that we get charged on the money we borrow to buy and renovate this.
Yep.
And then our selling costs, which we estimate with all of the homes that we've sold in HOAs to be about 4.5% since we represent ourselves in the sale.
Right, so the 4.5%, just breaking it down for you, 3% are those selling commissions, the commissions that we pay out to the buyer's agent, that's 3%. The other 1.5% are title fees, transfer taxes, HOA association dues, anything that has to do with transferring the property through title and through escrow. We typically calculate adds up to about 1.5% on the selling side.
Right. So for this property at a $2 million sales price, which we just calculated based off of the comp, it looks like it's going to make about $228,000. It's a 12.8% return.
Now, we typically look for 9 to 10% return on these deals. That's where we like to start. That's what we feel good about. 13% is a great return.
It's great. The only thing that you said that has me worried a little bit is that we're underestimating the rehab. So what I'd like to do is bump that up another $25,000, just in case that we're underestimating a little bit too much.
Those walls might cost a lot.
The walls, if we have to put a beam in, I think we may want to do some other stuff we may not be thinking about yet.
Yeah.
Does it still make sense? I think it does.
I really do think it does as well. $200,000 profit is a big profit to make on a deal. You know, these don't happen a lot. We're trying to get into it a little bit more so now than ever because of the market. We can't be greedy, right? We're not here to try to make an enormous amount of money on these because they'll never happen if we don't. $200,000 on a deal is a big profit to make on a deal.
It's awesome. For us, I mean, that's like doing how many other smaller deals where we'd have to run around and manage a whole lot of deals. So it does make our business a little easier too by doing this.
I really like it. You know, based off this number and based off the pros and cons of this deal, I really like this deal.
I vote buy it.
Let's do it. Let's add it to the board.
All right. Now that we've covered a lot of the boxes that this house needed to check, and we've gone over the numbers that makes this deal profitable, I think it's a buy, and I'm excited to add it to the board.
Yeah, I am too. I think this is a great profit. It's a great house. You know, what it comes down to is the process. I feel good about buying homes when we go through the entire process and truly do our due diligence.
Right, we do that all ourselves. We go to each property, we look at it with our own two eyes, we make sure we stand in the house and it's a house that we like.
Yeah, you gotta make sure to create a process of your own. And if you haven't done that yet, you're more than welcome to ask questions and follow our process. Jesse and I, it's not always about the numbers, and I want you to remember that. It's about the feeling of the house. Sometimes the numbers make a lot of sense, but when you're standing in the house, you can't envision yourself living there. And if we can't see ourselves living there, we don't buy them.
Definitely not. I hope a lot of these topics and things we covered today help you understand and feel more comfortable buying your first investment property. Hope you guys learned a little bit of something today. If you did, or if you have any further questions, drop a comment below, and we'd love it if you hit that subscribe button too.
And until then, we'll see you on the flip side.